Good morning and welcome to Seattle Unity Sunday service in our safe and socially distanced SoDo venue, Metropolis. We're so thrilled to have you at home here, and I'm super thrilled to have actual people in the room. Yay! There are more and more people in this room every Sunday, and it's bringing me back to life. I don't know. Yay! That's Felix saying hello. Hello, everyone. And up here with me today, it's our, we used to call it home team. Now it's just, we have a team. And these congregants here, I've got Mitch Hunter singing a little bit today. Say hello, Mitch. Yes. And back over there, we have Sally Annabella, and she's awesome too. It's such a privilege to be able to have actual congregant backup singers and support singers. We didn't do it for quite a while because we were maintaining maximum safety, but now we've got you helping us to sing. So please right now stand as you are able, the folks in the room. It goes like this. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Try that. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Do it again. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. One more time. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. And it's Pride Month, so this means something for that too. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Now we say justice. We who believe in justice cannot rest. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Justice. We who believe in justice cannot rest. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Now let's say peace. We who believe in peace cannot rest. We who believe in peace cannot rest until it comes. Peace. We who believe in peace cannot rest. We who believe in peace cannot rest until it comes. Let us pray.
And so we do open to the presence, the power, and the activity of Spirit moving in and through us now and always. And so let us join together as we affirm our opening statement. There is but one presence and one power in my life and in the universe. God the good, omnipotence.
And from this quiet place, let's say we who believe in love, and use this moment to send it as a blessing to someone who's not here. We who believe in love cannot rest. We who believe in love cannot rest until it comes. Let's send that love. We who believe in love cannot rest. We who believe in love cannot rest until it comes. Now we say unity. We who believe in unity cannot rest. We who believe in unity cannot rest until it comes. Unity. We who believe in unity cannot rest. We who believe in unity cannot rest until it comes. Watch this one. It's a variation. It's got arms. We who believe in spirit cannot rest until it rises. We who believe in spirit cannot rest. Oh, oh. We who believe in spirit cannot rest until it rises. We who believe in spirit cannot rest. Last time, here we go. We who believe in spirit cannot rest until it rises.
All right.
Well done, you guys.
Good morning and welcome to Seattle Unity. Thank you for joining us both in the room and online. So let's join together as we affirm our mission statement together, which is, we are a welcoming spiritual community thriving in the heart of Seattle, celebrating, inspiring, and deepening our individual and collective spiritual journeys. Again, thank you for being here. It's wonderful to see you. So I have a couple of announcements. Number one, if you have a prayer request, you can type it into the chat box. Diane will collect those and will bless people following the service. If you are in the room, you can write it on a piece of paper and get it to Diane over there, and she'll get it up here for the end of the service. Father's Day is coming up, and we have a Father's Day slideshow. So if you would like a photo of your father or you as a father included in it, please email a picture to Aaron and or permission to use the one from previous years. Other announcement is we have a community walk. We've been having a really good fun time with the community walks, and Joseph and Carol Zahn are going to lead one this Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Arboretum. They're meeting at the Graham Visitor Center for a nature walk, and they're suggesting that you bring your lunch, because afterwards you can stop and have a picnic with the rest of the group. So it's been a great way to connect with our community. And so now let's go to our announcements.
This is a Linda Webb Kakaba song. For those of you who don't know it, I'll teach it to you. I'll sing it through once. It goes like this. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me through the mind of God within me. Let's sing it. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me. Mind of God within me. Let's take it up. Everything that I need to do, yeah, about what lies before me. Everything that I need to do, yeah, about what lies before me is available to me. It's available to me. Try this. Through the mind of God within me.
Good morning. Good morning. We invite you at home. This is the more contemplative part of our service, and please just sit back, get comfortable, set aside any distractions, and tune into your inner peace as we sing this affirmative chant. Please join in whenever you're ready. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe.
asking all these questions for nothing, wondering if anyone was there. And I really need to make a confession. I'm a little bit scared, 'cause I've been on this train too long. People getting off and on, praying that I don't forget where I belong. And every time I ask myself, am I turning into someone else? I'm praying that I don't forget just who I am. I really want to understand. Just want to understand. I'm calling all my friends after midnight to remind them that I'll always be there for them. Gets lonely with no one to talk to, and it's good to know that somebody cares. But I've been on this train too long, people getting off and on, praying that I don't forget where I belong. And every time I ask myself, am I turning into someone else? Praying that I don't forget just who I am. I really want to understand. Yeah, I really want to understand. 'Cause we all get lost sometimes. We all get lost sometimes. Don't you leave, don't leave your heart behind. We all get lost, get lost. I really want to understand, yeah, yeah. Really want to understand, yeah. Oh, really want to understand. Really want to understand.
Thank you, Erin, and home team. So we have a special guest this morning who is a member of our community. Donna Hutchinson is one of our prayer chaplains, and I got to sit in on their last meeting, and I was listening to her talk about her life, and I thought, you know, I think the entire community needs to hear what you have to say. So Donna has lived most of her life on the East Coast, and her 40-year career in education was filled with challenges, opportunities, hundreds of stories and different roles, such as a teacher, a counselor, a staff developer, and a principal. She moved to Seattle 10 years ago to be near her daughter, who is here with us today. And her son lives in Minneapolis, and she has 2 granddaughters and another on the way. So join me in welcoming Donna Hutchinson.
Thank you, Karen. Well, good morning to everyone. To be here in person at Metropolis after a year and a half is kind of surreal, but also so wonderful in so many ways and so familiar. Last month, I celebrated my 80th birthday. When Reverend Karen asked me to share some thoughts on what I've learned from living to be 80, I was quite surprised. What was even more surprising was I said yes, that I would do it. 2 weeks ago, I think it was last week, Reverend Karen talked a bit about this month's theme, the Alchemy of Understanding, and she shared this explanation. The alchemy of understanding takes the lead of confusion, the lead of not knowing, and transforms it into the gold of understanding and the art of reflection. In a way, I think that describes my life. When I said yes to sharing my thoughts with you, I knew I would have to take time to deeply reflect on my life and how I got here, sort through some of my own confusion and my own not knowing, to formulate what I can carry forward as gold into my 80s and beyond. I hadn't thought about what I've learned so far in life as becoming a benchmark for living into my 80s and beyond. So the gift of doing today has helped me to look at that. A few days before my 80th birthday, I received 2 birthday cards, and I put them on my counter in the kitchen like I do all the time when I get gifts, cards. And the next time I walked into the kitchen, I was very startled when I looked at them. These were the first 2 that I saw. So it was like, 80? That's me? It was really a shock. I stood there and I was in denial. How could I be 80? So the journey of standing on the threshold of the rest of my life as an octogenarian began. As I look ahead to this new decade, I'm carrying forward 2 important learnings from my life. The first is that I say yes when an opportunity presents myself. Today is one of those. The prayer chaplain experience was another. I relate this to my spiritual awareness that miracles walk in front of me all the time. All I need to do is to say yes. And so I'm grateful to be here today. The second learning comes from using this prism as a metaphor for my life. It is a reminder that when I am willing, I can turn the prism and see any experience from a different point of view. And I know that I see what I choose to see. I want to share a story. I have a very dear friend who I think occasionally treats me like I don't know how to do something, or I don't know how to drive when we're going somewhere. And this irritation starts to bubble up inside of me, and it can become big very quickly. Obviously, this is a trigger for me. I think that when I am triggered, it is always about me, not about the other person. My friend really cares about me and really wants to help me, and I know deep in my heart that that is true. When I'm able to shift the notion in my mind about what she is doing, it shifts everything in me, and I really do think that that is quite a miracle. I have another story. I have been very fortunate to travel all over the world in my life, and I have brought home treasures from the world, mostly pottery. And I have loved having them in my house as memories of the trips that I've made, and also because I love to use them when I have guests over. Well, one night, I came home to find my kitchen cabinet door open, and all my pottery, plates, and dishes were broken in a million pieces on the floor. The plastic shelf bracket had broken. I could feel my immediate pull to go into drama about this. Why did this happen to me? And somehow, I remembered to turn the prism and recognize that there was nothing to do but get the broom, sweep it up. And I was pretty honestly surprised when I did just that. I got the broom, swept up the pieces, put them in the trash, and that was really the end of the pottery. I am grateful when I am willing to let go of drama and remember to shift my perspective. It saves me much angst and grief. 20 years ago, in my 60s, can you imagine? a friend said she was going to participate in the AARP triathlon. I knew I couldn't do that. The only thing I had ever done in my life was ride a bike as a kid. Yet somehow I listened to an inner voice inside of me, and I said yes, and I signed up. I had no idea what was in store for me. A glimpse at how my family members saw me is reflected in a phone call from my brother when he heard I was doing the triathlon. He said, and I quote, even though it's 20 years ago, I remember it distinctly. He said, "I would never have put athlete and Donna in the same sentence." So for the next 3 years, in my mid-60s, I participated in the AARP triathlon. I had to learn to run, swim, and to build up my endurance to bike. And then I had to do them all one after the other. At the beginning of the training, I asked our trainer, "How do I learn to run?" And he said, "Go outside, walk to the first lamppost, run to the next lamppost, walk to the next lamppost, run to the next lamppost, and you'll build up your ability." I was truly amazed that after a week I was running, not very fast, but I was running a half mile. It was so encouraging that very soon I was able to run the 3 miles. Swimming was a different matter. I had never liked to swim and had never learned to breathe while swimming, putting my head in the water. I swam, like with my head above and my arms flapping around. During the triathlon training, I would enter the water, start to swim, take a stroke or two, stand up, start to do 2 more strokes, and stand up for many, many sessions. Finally, I was able to swim 40% of the pool without stopping. My most memorable moment during the whole triathlon in that first year was swimming the length of the pool from one end to the other without standing up. It felt more triumphant than even crossing the finish line. The lesson I carry from the triathlon is to say yes and then begin with small, manageable steps and celebrate each one of those. Okay, so to celebrate my 75th birthday, my family and I went to Magdala, Spain. While planning the trip, it dawned on me that while I was in Spain, I could walk the Camino, a spiritual pilgrimage, after the family vacation was over. Ever since I read Shirley MacLaine's book 20 years ago about her experience on the Camino, I've wanted to walk it. So I began imagining how I would do it. I needed to find someone to go with me who was passionate about walking the Camino. That was harder than I imagined because May 3rd, I had to start because that's when our vacation was over. I finally connected with a friend from Rochester, New York, and began making our plans. I rigorously trained for 4 months in preparation for the pilgrimage. We planned to take about 2 weeks to walk the 170 miles from Porto, Portugal to Santiago, Spain. A moment of truth came when my friend who was walking with me decided to go home after 3 days. I felt hurt, angry that she had not prepared herself physically before we started, disappointed and not having someone to share the experience of walking the whole Camino with me, guilty that maybe I had done something that made her decide to go home, and scared. How could I go out alone? It took a while, but when I turned the prism and looked at what I wanted, I was able to let go of my anger and disappointment and hurt. It was only then that I saw her differently. I could see how she had struggled with the decision to go home, how hard it was for her to walk the 15 to 18 miles every day, how painful her body was at the end of the day. And I began to understand how hard it was for her to make the decision that she could not continue. This paradigm shift this turning of the prism was vital for me to let go of my disappointment and turn my attention toward the Camino. After she left, I did have a singular moment of feeling very frightened and deeply alone in the world. This was an absolutely a moment of truth for me. But as the Camino says, and my spiritual awareness knows, I am never alone. Within a short time of saying goodbye to her, I met 3 young women in their 20s who adopted me, and we had walked most of the rest of the Camino together. They even planned a spectacular surprise birthday dinner at a restaurant where lots of other pilgrims were also having dinner. My birthday happened to be while I was walking the Camino. My friends had candles, fresh wildflowers, a birthday card in Spanish, and a dessert. Pretty soon, the other pilgrims joined in the festivities, and everyone spontaneously and quite joyfully sang happy birthday to me, a most memorable 75th birthday. Another part of my life is a deepening of my spiritual path. Again, I turn to the recent decades for powerful learnings. In my 60s, I spent 6 years attending Full Spectrum School of Healing and Self-Transformation in Meadville, Pennsylvania. This experience provided so much healing and spiritual learning, I am still processing it today. A consistent message during those 6 years was, you are what you choose to be. I had watched others in the group struggle with being unhappy, fearful, angry, and heard this question from Sandra, our leader. Do you want to feel this way? And I watched some people stay angry, fearful. However, I also witnessed some of them transform almost instantly by answering, no, I don't want to feel that way. And with that willingness to let go of those negative feelings, it shifted something deep inside of them. This message came through loud and clear for me one afternoon, when after 10 years, I was still steeped and even righteously committed to feeling quite angry, resentful, unhappy, unsettled about my ex-husband. Sandra, the leader, asked me the same question. Do you want to continue to feel this way? I stopped, and I turned the prism in my mind and listened to my heart. I knew in my inner being that I did not want to hang on to these negative feelings. So I said, no, I don't want to continue feeling this way. She invited me to come forward, and she made a gesture to remove those feelings. I turned around, and those feelings were gone. This instant shift in letting go of the negative feelings, a miracle, some might say, has been a constant reminder that all things are possible in my life if I have faith and am willing to let go of negative feelings by turning the prism. This new opening in my heart about my ex-husband opened the door for me to begin to see him differently and create a different way of being with him. My spiritual journey at 80 is being aware of what I want to feel and choose, shifting my perspective to that of joy. My granddaughter Quinn teaches me every day what spontaneous joy is and the many, many ways to express it. Joy for me is a deepening of my relationships with my daughter, Christy and Quinn, with my son Jason and Jocelyn, and Poppy, my long-distance granddaughter. I've had 2 very unusual experiences of feeling spontaneous joy, and they're in some ways kind of silly, but I'm going to share them with you. In early May, I had a root canal. While sitting, what does this have to do with joy? Uh, while sitting in the dentist chair with my mouth pried wide open, with the thing they put in your mouth, the dentist on one side of me, the assistant on the other, talking in their Genoese language over my head, I closed my eyes and spontaneously started singing. In my head, of course. I am as God created me. Thank you, Aaron. Over and over and over. The 2+ hours evaporated as I let the words and the music fill me with joy. Who could imagine sitting in the dentist chair could bring me joy? That's one of them. The other unusual experience occurred in 2014. I was walking down the hallway in my condo when I suddenly and spontaneously said out loud, "I'm so happy." No one else was there, but the full sense of love and joy just bubbled up and spilled out. This experience continues to occur at the most unexpected times, and I'm very grateful when it does. While I can't explain how or why these things happen, I do know that it's a deep reminder of the power of love. And joy is the way I experience it in that moment. Shifting my perspective on what is happening in my life will determine whether I experience life as joyful or as poor me. Now I'm 80. How could I love what I'm becoming? The truth is, I don't know what is ahead of me. How will my physical body change? I'm already shorter. I walk slower. I'm more cautious. And I know that there will be a lot of other changes as I get older. Will I be able to continue to do some of the things that I love to do, like playing hide and seek with my granddaughter, hiking, traveling? What opportunities will I say yes to in my 80s? In many ways, it doesn't matter how I'm changing, as long as I continue to say yes to life and listen from my heart instead of my head. Listening from my heart means I need to let go of being right, remembering to look for the element of truth in what the other is saying. Letting go of judgment, opening my heart to seeing and hearing in a more loving way. Let go of drama. Drama only leads to conflict, unhappiness, fear, and disappointment. Slow down. Listening from my heart means to slow down. Embracing being rather than doing. I have been a doer my whole life. So shifting to being is a challenge, and it takes a focus and a consciousness to do that. I want to give myself more time to meditate, to read, to spend time with those that I love, to walk and just be present with myself. I can only get excited thinking about the possibilities in the next decade. My part is to stay open, turn the prism of negative feelings to gold, and choose to come from my heart. Having gratitude for all that I am, having gratitude for all that I have, and having gratitude for all that is coming my way. Be present and accept what is. As Julian of Norwich says, all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. I am loving what I am becoming. Thank you.
Tell me what's been on your mind. What's been keeping you up at night? Your life isn't making sense. You don't know what the answer is. There's no need to be ashamed. You're not alone. In confusion, God is closer than you know. Questions, wrestle with all those questions, leaning into the tension. Listen, it's okay to have your doubts, all of the why, God, and what now. Every time that you cry out, listen, it's okay to have questions. I called out from the darkest place with the bitterness of a broken faith. Tried to run away. When I turned around, we were face to face. When I questioned everything I know, God was faithful and He never let me go. Questions, wrestle with all those questions, leaning into the tension. Listen, it's okay to have your doubts, all of the why, God, and what now. Every time that you cry out, listen, it's okay to have questions. Bring them all to the Father, lay them all in His hands. All your fear and your anger, what you don't understand. Every act of surrender is an anthem of praise. Bring it over and over. God is not afraid of your questions. Questions. Wrestle with all the questions, leaning into the tension. Listen, it's okay to have your doubts, all of the why, God, and what now. Every time that you cry out, listen, it's okay to have questions.
Thank you, Erin, and thank you, Donna. Was that inspiring? It's like, okay, 80's a piece of cake. We can get there. So we come to that time in our service where we share our tithes and our love offerings, and we do have a box over there for those who want to give by paper or check in that way. We're still not collecting yet due to not totally coming out of COVID yet. And I want to let you know that you can also text to give, and that number is on the screen. So y'all just have to type that number into your, your chat, and then, or your text rather, and then the amount, and it'll go right there. And I'm going to actually do it right now. So just give me a sec. There. So, however you give, and just FYI, Metropolis was generous enough to give us a discount on this facility during COVID, and so now that we're starting to open up again, we're going to go back to full rent. So, just be conscious of where we are financially. So, whatever you give, however you give, I invite you to turn your attention within and just recognize that this is the source of spirit, and that we are participating in generosity. So together we affirm, I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude. And so we do dedicate and consecrate these gifts to the will, the work, and the way of the living Spirit of truth. May each giver be given back to a millionfold. And we are grateful for your generosity. So before we share our prayer for protection, I'd like to take a moment to bless those who have requested prayer. And so I invite you just to kind of move to your heart, connecting to your mind, as we call forth the good for Lucas and for Mike, for Dawn and for Jason, for Caroline and Ken, for Gina and Denise, for June Ann, Carol, and Chris. And I invite you to take a deep breath. And we hold divine order, the highest and best, outworking in the life of Brianna and Drew and Sharon. We know this for Craig and Blair, for Tina. We hold in our hearts Carmen, Marie and Marilyn, Eric, Maya and family, Dennis, Joanna, Mike, Amelia and Nibia, anyone who is struggling right now. And if you would like to add anyone's name to this sacred space, please speak their names now. And so we join in our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yeah.
It's so good to see people in 3D. So, like, you know, you have full bodies. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you're here, stand up. If you're at home, and you can, if you're able, stand up and just enjoy the fact that we have a body. We've been sitting, some of us, a little bit, wiggle around a little bit. Feel free to drift to the outsides of the room and see if you can make a circle. That way you can actually look at each other above the mask. We're going to sing Wherever God Is. We're going to affirm that first with I, and then you, and then we. Oh, that looks great. I'm glad everybody's settling in and making a circle. Again, it's so nice to know you have backsides, all you people. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's affirm that. Wherever